Hello, everyone. It's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 290. Today, I want to share with you some lessons that we learned at the recent Agora Speakers International 4 contest that we had. In particular, I want to share with you what happened this past Sunday when our superstar, Yuri Fuji, from our club that we meet on Saturdays regularly, won the educational speech contest. Yuri's 10 years old, and she beat some competitors much older than her. And there, I want to say what I learned from that, because there's a technique and approach that we've been using that I now know it really works well, particularly working with young people. And that's why we introduced it. And it has definitely paid off in spades in Yuri's case in particular. Now, as the competition was on Sunday, the results were that Yuri won against uh, Teodora, who's around, I think, 17 years old from Romania, very well polished speaker, very well done. And the same with Christopher Callahan, who's from South Africa. Teodora is from Romania, and Christopher is a seasoned individual, very senior in Agra speakers, probably at least a decade, if not 2 decades, been public speaking. And he did very well because if you look at the other competitions, he entered all of them. He was in them. He won the storytelling competition. He also won the humorous speech competition. And he came second in the social awareness competition. So he was in all four competitions. So for Yuri to beat him in particular, but Theodora as well, shows you how outstanding of a job she has done. Now, why? How did that happen? Well, if you look at artists who start at the bottom and work their way to successful careers, there's one factor that is very consistent. They performed far more shows than the average person. And the same principle holds true that if you want to rise, you got to keep on working and showing up and making new material. That's exactly what Yuri has been doing. This is an example of the 75 speeches that Yuri has presented since she started back in March of 2024. Her very first speech was 40 seconds long on global warming. And she just read, well, didn't even look at the camera and was busy reading her notes for 40 seconds. But she got credit for that. We implemented a system where it doesn't matter how long you speak or what you speak about, just practice. And that's exactly what she's been doing. And after 5 speeches, she gets a certificate. So she has continued doing that since the 9th of March with her 42nd speech till her last speech on the 30th of August, which was 10 minutes and 8 seconds on climate hoax, which was her award winning speech. She was practicing it the day before at the meeting. So she has got certificates for all of her speeches, every 5 speech. This is her most recent. On the 30th of August this year, she got the 2 diamond 5-star speech level at our club, the VMC Agra Speakers Club, for giving her 75th speech. And that shows you by her practicing, us giving her feedback, she has become so competent, she has beaten some outstanding uh, competitors. Now, normally, and we tried this before, was we asked them, the young people, to do the same thing as the adults. But this was too complicated. Rather than just get, uh, as we do for every speech, they get credit, they had to, in this case, would have done speech structure, that's project 4, speech message, vocal variety, body language. This is more advanced. When Yuri and the young people are ready, they can say, oh, I want to do that now. I feel I'm ready for it. But don't try starting them there. Just give them credit. And Yuri has proven that as a fact that it works. Now, something else happened during the competition. While Yuri was giving her award-winning speech, someone decided to scribble on her screen and on her slides. But they didn't do it for anyone else, just Yuri. And why? Well, I have the theory that it's the tall poppy syndrome. It is describes a social phenomena in which people of genuine merit, such as Yuri, are resented, attacked, cut down, or criticized because their talents or achievements that elevate them above or distinguish them from their peers. Now, this is good experience. This is something, a lesson for all of us, including Yuri. Her role model is Greta Thunberg, the Swedish climate activist. And you know, probably if you have heard anything, she has been often criticized by even world leaders have criticized. Who does Greta Thunberg think she is? And this is an example why it's great for Yuri to have this small experience, which will teach her how to become competent as Greta Thunberg has. Now, something else has occurred as well. Yuri's mother sent me a note this past week saying that inspired by Yuri's work in the virtual meeting communication club, I recall that her teacher started a speech day in her class last year. And Yuri said that there's a long queue for them to get their turn, so it's become popular. And so she asked me, do I sometimes collaborate with a school? And of course, that's exactly what I want to do, is help get agri speakers into schools and show them what it can do for our young people. So this is something else. Someone like Yuri can open doors for us. So the more we can help some young people, they can be seen by this school saying, wow, something's going on here. And maybe they can open doors for us as well. So those were some of the lessons that we learned by Yuri winning, that she, by just keep on going 75 speeches, she can become extremely competent. And also the tall poppy syndrome. It exists, and we can learn, and Yuri can learn from that. And also, Yuri can open doors in schools. So, with that, I will say adios, au revoir, wishing you, your family, and friends lots of love and laughter. So, bye for now from Fred and Notes of a Nomad. Till next time.